Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio and welcome to the video. So, you guys, we have my new setup today. What do you think? I like it. I kind of made it Christmassy. I have like Santa there, a snow globe, all that jazz. Some picture frames, Christmas trees. Something like really random about me is I'm obsessed with snow globes. So yeah, snow globes are my fave ever. But anyway, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel because for the whole month of December, every week, we are going to be doing humongous giveaways. All you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and that will enter you. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not. So today, you guys, it is new moon today. Today is December 7th. I don't know what time this video will get up, but if you're into astrology and all that other stuff and like the moon and crystals, this is like a really cool day of the year because it's kind of the day that you can put aside all your negativity and kind of manifest what you want for 2019. And I was kind of like reading up all about that today. And then I was randomly on my YouTube channel and I saw Mikey did a video where she literally did a makeup tutorial based off her horoscope, her Zodiac sign. It's right here. There she is, my girl Mikey. I actually met her recently for the first time. She is stunning, beautiful. So this is definitely in credit to her. I loved this idea that she did. And this month is my month. I'm a Sagittarius. So I figured like what better freaking way than to do this? It's such a sign, you know? And I was like, I have to do this. This is so cute, so cool. I love it. And basically, if you haven't seen Mikey's video, I will link it down below. But basically the gist of it was to research your horoscope and to kind of look up the color wheel of your horoscopes. And I used actually the same color wheel that Mikey had in her video. I just did Google Images. And if you don't know, I am a Sagittarius. I'm a fire sign and very true to it. And I have this right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but it basically has the spectrum, and then it also has this exact one which Mikey used in her tutorial. But pretty much for Sagittarius, there's a lot of mauve tones, which ironically is one of my favorite colors ever, and one of my favorite colors to wear, one of my favorite colors as a lip shade, as eye makeup. Honestly, I think it's a beautiful color. Also, checking out the other one, we had some teals and pastels. So the Sagittarius spectrum honestly kind of varies from teals to mauves to like nude shades, deep purples. So these are all colors that I'm really obsessed with and made even more sense when I found out that those were my colors, Sagittarius colors. I was going on like a little Twitter rant, not really Twitter rant. I wasn't really ranting about anything, but I was going on a little Twitter spree recently and I was talking to you guys about like, you know, even though your horoscope is like who you are, it's like the day you were born, there are so many meanings to horoscopes, like your ascending sign, your moon sign, Venus. Like I personally, I'm not gonna sit here and explain it because I wrote like paragraphs on Twitter, but if you are interested, there's this really great app, and this is not sponsored, I wish it was, but it's not. It's called Co-Star, and it has a little moon icon, and this is what it looks like when you open it up. It's kind of just like all things about you and your sign. It tells you your chart. So like my sun is in Sagittarius. Sun is like when you were born, so that's why it's called that. My moon is in Leo, and your moon sign kind of rules your emotions. My rising is in Cancer, and basically your rising or your ascending sign is the mask that you present to people. So like when people get a first impression of you, this is kind of like that sign, or the sign when you're not 100% comfortable to be your full self. This is how you kind of project yourself to be. And again, there's Mercury, there's Venus, there's Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, everything, honestly. So if you're really interested in the signs, I definitely recommend that app because it's amazing. I've used it. I've learned a lot about my sign through this. It also gives you daily horoscopes, and I think it's the most accurate or the coolest to read about. I figure let's do this. It's the month of the Sagittarius. My birthday's December 14th, 92. I got my nails done. It says 1992 on them in honor for my birthday. And you know, let's just get going. I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and I'm first first going to prime them with the Bravo Conditioning Primer. This is one of my favorite primers because it has literally helped grow my brow hairs. I mean, I don't have any product in them right now, but you can see how much my brow hairs have grown from the beginning for those of you who are my OGs. Also, we need to come up with like something to call you guys. You know what I mean? Like Mariale has her Amorcitos and like Kristen Dominique has her Quad family. So I'm kind of like thinking, what should we like name each other? Should we name each other like knickknacks? I don't know. And then while that primer is drying, I'm going to go ahead and use some of the Tatcha water cream with a lovely piece of Junie's hair in it. Awesome. When you have dogs, man, can't have nice things. But I'm just going to apply this all over my face very sparsely and carefully. And I don't know if you guys are able to see right here. I'm having, actually, I didn't realize it was that bad. I'm having some really dry skin from me being sick. And it's like really just sitting there and like being dry and red and great and gorgeous and all that. So I am dealing with that, the side effects of a cold. I even got Riley sick. I feel so bad. His is way more worse though, because I was preparing for my sickness. My sickness. I don't know if you guys have me on Insta story. If you don't, you totally should, because that's where I talk the most. I was literally saying on my Instagram story that like since I came home from Thanksgiving from New York, where my family lives, I was like, dude, I feel like I'm kind of getting sick, not sure. So I was pumping myself up with vitamins. So I feel like that's probably why my sickness didn't last as long as Riley's, because I really was like pumping myself up, okay? So even though my backdrop looks so pretty zoomed out and everything, I think I'm going to have to zoom y'all in to do my eyes because you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing from that far away. So I just wanted to get you guys kind of the overfeel of my new setup. I'm going to zoom you guys on in and let's get started with the eyeballs. Woohoo! All right, guys. So, gotta stay hydrated. I'm really trying, and I know this is so effing corny, but I'm really trying for 2019 to be my year of hydration because I don't drink enough water. Even my like throat doctor was telling me, my ENT. I feel weird calling him my throat doctor. That sounds so weird. I'm just gonna call him my ENT. Even he was telling me that I need to be drinking way more water. I'm going to be going in with the Precisely My Brow Pencil in shade number 2. This is from Benefit, and I'm just brushing up all of my brow hairs, and I'm just going to underline my eyebrows first, and basically that's just following the natural shape underneath of my eyebrow. I'm very lucky that I have pretty good fullness underneath my brow. It's like right in this area where I fall short of the thickness of hair, where a lot of men and women feel that way as well. So I just kind of follow my hairline at the bottom, and then the top is where I really kind of like draw the arch and all that jazz. So, but I like to do little hair-like strokes. I do notice that with this shade, shade number 3, it is a little bit warm tone. So if you are a warm tone type of gal or a cool tone type of gal, it definitely depends. So make sure you read up on them. I'm not 100% sure. I used to think it was like 1 or 2, 4, and 6 that were cool shades and 1, 3, and 5 that were warm, but I'm not 100% sure anymore. I find that a little bit more of a warmer tone brow just looks better on my complexion because my roots, my natural hair, everything is always a little bit more warm tone, even though I wish it was more cool tone, more icy blonde. Realistically, it's more warm tone, so pay attention to the roots of your hair because they tell you a lot about your body. And then basically all I did here was create my own kind of like brow shape, and then I like kind of fluff the front up a little bit more, leave it a little bit more sparse looking in the front just so it looks more, you know, natch. I really need to get my eyebrows done. Oof, girl. So yeah, these are kind of like natch for me, natural looking brows, and then I'm just gonna go over with a little bit of the 3D brow tones in shade number 2. Now for this one I used shade number 2, and I am just going to fluff up and add a little bit more dimension to your brows. So this is basically like if you feel like your brows are too much one color, they can tend to look a little bit flat. So I find that by adding a little bit of a tinted gel in a different shade or whatever, it just really brings your brows back to life, makes it look like more dimension. It's kind of like when when your hair is only one color and you want to add highlights to add dimension to it. It's very similar to that. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other brow off camera, and then we'll be right back for the eyes. Okay, so let's move on. My P. Louise base I'm going to use, I believe this is in shade number 2. And the reason I say I believe is because there's literally nothing on, this must be like an older like packaging, because there's nothing on it that tells me the shade name or range or whatever the hell it is. So I don't know, y'all. And then I'm just gonna buff everything into the skin. You can bring it up to your eyebrows as well to kind of like arch them out, shape them. I also like to drag out the product because you never know what you're gonna do with, like, I never know what I'm gonna do with my eyeshadow looks until I literally am sitting down and staring at the palette. So that's why I always make sure I have like excess out there and whatnot, because you really never know. An artist never knows. Okay, so some of the palettes that I picked out, I have the Dream palette by Beauty Bird and Sigma here. This made it to my monthly favorites for November. And then I also have the Gingerbread palette. This palette, I have been using the hell out of this palette, and bitch, I really like it. This is one of my favorite Too Faced palettes that's ever been created, so I have been using it like crazy. I'm gonna pull up my colors again. We have some like mauve berry nude tones, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna like feel it. So I'm gonna go in actually and set my eye with this shade right here called Powdered Sugar. And this is just like a white shadow. It's not like intensely white, like you're not gonna be able to see it. It's kind of like a nude, maybe skin tone-y color. But I'm just gonna use this to set the whole eye and kind of have a nice white base down, and then do the same thing over here. I am one of those people that's like, oh, what's your sign? Like, I need to know everybody's sign before I like am friends with them. Is that weird? Like, even with Riley, I needed to know his sign, but like, how do you like ask a guy that? You know what I mean? It's like stupid. So I was just like, oh, like random question, what's your sign? And he was like, Pisces. And I was like, oh, the fish. Because oh my God, I love water signs. Water signs are my ish. They're very emotional, but they're the best. So when I found out that he was a Pisces, I was like, batten down the hatches, ladies. We're falling in love. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Looky at My Cookie. It's a little bit more of a mauve tone, kind of really light still. Not 100% sure if you'll be able to see it on camera. So yeah, just letting y'all know. Oh, this palette smells incredible too. Yeah, you really can't see it, huh? That's interesting. I wonder if I have to change the white balance on my camera a little bit so that you could see it, because I can see it in person. So maybe something's a little off. And I'm just going to go in and use this as a transition shade. So you can kind of see a little tint of it. I'm gonna play with the lighting really quick on my camera because you should be able to see that a lot more. So just pause for a second. Thank you so much. There we go. That looks a little bit better there. Sorry for that little lighting mishap. That looks way better because you can see a little bit of that pink tint. Oh, this palette just smells delicious. Okay, so the next shade I wanna go in with is a little bit dark, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Figgy Pudding. This is like a purple shade. This is literally like almost identical to one of the shades in my color palette for Sagittarius. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go in and very lightly start to add this into the crease. Since this is a little bit of a darker color, I don't want to go in too dark at first because it's going to be a mess to try to blend. And then you can take a brush that doesn't have any additional product on it and kind of like feather out the edges. That's how I really like to get that seamless blend look, is always having that extra brush on hand for like a nice seamless blend. So then to just add a little bit more of the purple tones, I'm going to be using this shade right here, which is, oh my gosh, Orquídea. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't know how to speak Spanish. I keep trying to make everything sound Italian because that's the only language I know. But I'm going to be taking this shade from Beauty Bird's palette and working this in my crease just to make it a little bit more like pinky purpley so that it doesn't look too muddy or anything like that. And I'm just putting it directly in my crease. Also, my eyelids are super, super dry, you guys. I'm really sorry. I've been trying my best to like really calm them down and like do all these treatments, but I don't know what's going on. So if the eyeshadow looks a little patchy in certain areas, it's not the actual eyeshadow for once. It's my eyelids. Wow, this is coming out really pretty. I'm trying to think what else I could like talk to you guys about horoscope-wise. Some of my favorite signs are Pisces, Libras, Cancer, Leos, Geminis. I love Geminis despite what everybody says about them. I think they're actually pretty effing awesome. I love women Sagittarius. Men Sagittarius. I have a lot of Taurus female friends. I don't like Taurus males, to be completely honest. I tend to butt heads with some Virgos. I don't know if that's like anything. Honestly, one of my best friends is a Virgo. Her name is Dana, and I always say she's more like a Leo because she's way more like a Leo. Way more gentler. And then again, I have this additional brush on hand to blend out the creasing, the shading, the whatever, but I'm telling you, this works like beautifully. And I'm kind of doing a blown out look. And then I feel like I want to add a little bit of darker purple, so I'm going to use the shade Puesta del Sol right here. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Again, I'm really sorry. I hope I'm not offending anyone, but I'm going to go in with that shade and kind of darken up even more in the crease. Without that little freaking patchiness from my eyeball, this is really looking pretty. So now what I'm gonna do is actually cut my crease, and I'm gonna use the P. Louise base again. And once I cut the crease, you'll be able to get a way better look at the eye, and it won't look nearly as dry. And I'm using the Morphe M224 to do the cut crease here. And I'm just following the natural shape of my eye. I'm just doing one of my favorite ways to do my makeup, since this is more like my horoscope picking out my makeup than an actual makeup tutorial, you know what I'm saying? So cut me some slack. So that looks like way better, actually. I'm glad. So while I have this like that, I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and blend out any little creasing or fine lines there are, and then I'm gonna go into the gingerbread palette, and I'm actually going to use this shade right here called Sugar Daddy, which has a little bit of shimmers to it. There we go. There's a better look at it. It's very subtle shim, you know? I gotta stop saying shim. Just going to apply this. Okay, beach. I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, and then I'll be right back to do our liner. Okay, you guys, so once you have that one line down, you're just going to connect it in. Like so, and then kind of fill in all of the blanks. Okay, guys, and for our lashes, I'm using Lilly Lashes in the style NYC, and I'm just going to pop these on like so. I usually press down in the center, then go to the outer corner, and then pop it on in the inner corner. And voila, we have our lashes. So I'm gonna zoom you guys on out, and let's get finished with our face. Okay, and to prime my face, I'm using the Quench, which this is actually in my horoscope color tones. And this is from Tarte. This is a hydrating primer that I've been using like crazy recently because you guys know my skin has been so incredibly dry, and that is because there is zero humidity here in California, which is why we have problems with all the fires and everything else to begin with, and it never rains. Thank God it rained the past few days though. I'm so excited because that means that Mammoth is gonna be ready for some fresh snow, and I can ski on it. Okay, so annoying. So for foundation, y'all, I've said it once, I've said it twice, and I'll say it 1,000 times. The Dior Air Flash is one of the best foundations I have ever used. So I'm using shade 321, and since the primer that I'm using is a hydrating one, it's not really going to fill my pores, so I don't really have to wait for it to fill my pores or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it, which that's also a plus of a primer that is a moisturizing one. You don't have to wait for it to kind of set and fill in to your pores. And I just spray it on my Y6 flat top kabuki. I actually got Riley's aunt hooked on this too. It really just looks good on all different skin tones, types, all different ages. It's a really beautiful foundation to have, especially if you're an aspiring MUA. This is really good to have in your kit because it'll literally give everyone an airbrushed finish. The only parts I really have a problem with applying it is my forehead, because my forehead isn't very big. I mean, it's not small, but I'd say it's pretty average. So obviously I have a little bit of a difficulty going in there with the kabuki. So for concealer, I'm going to switch it up a bit. I'm going to go back to the ColourPop No Filter. This is in shade medium 24. One of my favorite concealers. It really gives you that like airbrush finish as well. Really nice and matte. It doesn't feel too heavy on the skin either, so that's always a plus. And this is just kind of how I apply it. So a couple of the traits I know about Sagittarius. Oh, and also leave me a comment down below what sign you are. I'm so curious to know. But some of the traits of a Sagittarius are they love to be very adventurous, love to travel, which is so true, so me. They honestly make great boyfriends slash girlfriends because they're very dedicated when they are in a relationship. And I'm trying to think like what else. I feel like I should read stuff offline so that you guys don't think I'm like full of shit, but it's true. They're very optimistic. I'm a very optimistic person. I don't understand how people can be pessimistic. Like I've always been like that my whole life. And I know some people like can't help it. I know it's like not easy, but I'm always a very optimistic person. I love to try out new things. The only thing I'm not really adventurous with is my foods. I really like plain foods, but I don't know if that has anything to do with my sign, honestly. I'm trying to think of like if I have a sign that's like my least favorite. I don't know. Virgo is pretty high up there, I gotta be honest. But I have a lot of Virgo friends, so I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Maybe it's the Virgo male that I don't like. I don't know. Oh, Scorpios. I love Scorpios. I feel like Scorpios and Geminis have a really bad rap. Like it's other signs. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to offend anybody, but there's definitely other signs that are way worse than Geminis and Scorpios. I think Scorpios are pretty dope, actually. My dad is a Scorpio. My grandma was a Scorpio. So I really like Scorpios. I love Capricorns. I think Capricorns are one of the most giving signs there ever are, like ever was. They're very, very giving. And then let's set everything with Patty's powder. So I'm gonna go in with my Morphe E48 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for applying powder under the eyes. I'm going to just tap everything out, any creasing that may have formed, and then just go right on in with the powder. And it's also a requirement to make ugly faces while doing this, so make sure you do your fair share, okay? I love me a good Patty's powder. I really like to apply this all over because this powder really doesn't affect my skin too bad. There are some powders that I really can't apply all over because they're very drying, but I find this one and the Laura Mercier one and the ColourPop one are pretty good. Okay, let's move on to a little bit of contour. A little bit of contour in my life. A little bit. This is why I take so long to get ready because I have to like sing and shit. Okay, I'm going in with the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Bronzer. This is actually a cool tone bronzer, so it works really well as like a contour and bronzer in one. And I'm using an angled brush. And I also have some really good tips and tricks to applying your contour, so make sure you check some of my older videos on my makeup tutorials or just even reviews. I mention it in, so make sure you go back and check so I'm not being hella repetitive. So for highlight, I'm gonna be using Snow Angel from Kylie Cosmetics. This is from the winter collection, and I'm just going to, ooh, beach. This is blinding. I forgot how much I like this highlight. Such a good highlight. If you are looking for a new highlighter that's blinding. And then for blush, I'm actually going to use the new brand Kaja or Kaya. I'm not really sure how to say it. It's in shade Koi, and basically you have like a little stamp here and a little pad. It's a cream blush, and you just stamp it there. And then I'm going to actually beauty blend it out really quick so that it doesn't like stay in one place. Stamp it over here, blend it out. This is actually a really pretty blush. And you can blend it out with your beauty blender, with a foundation brush, whatever you want. This is a new brand that I'm actually wanting to try out. Like, I got sent a bunch of their stuff, not in a sponsored way, like just their PR. And I'm really wanting to try out some of their new products. So leave me a comment if you've actually heard of the brand, if you think I should test it out, whatever. So for the lower lash line, I'm trying to think what I want to do. Part of me is wondering if I should do like teal underneath. Like I have this kind of like blue shade here. to kind of incorporate the two because I know like the teal kind of shade is actually my birthstone. And while I'm at it, let me read you some of the characteristics of a Sagittarius. They're generous, idealistic, great sense of humor. Sagittarius is like freedom, travel, philosophy, being outdoors. I'm not like big on the whole outdoors thing. Like maybe if I'm by like a beach or skiing, but like I like to just like sit on my couch. But Sagittarius is dislike clinging people, being constrained, off the wall theories, details. Yeah, I would say that's true. I don't really care about clingy people. Clingy people are clingy people. My lucky numbers are 3, 7, 9, 12, and 21. 3 has always been my lucky number from the time I remember growing up. I always just love the number 3. Not really sure why. It never had any correlation. And like even with my spiritual advisor, the number 3 came up with her. Shout out Sally. How you doing, girl? No, but the number 3 came up with her too. So, you know, that's always kind of been my number. So it's weird. I never knew actually until this moment that it was my lucky number. So that's cool. Greatest overall compatibility is Gemini and Aries. Duh. Because Geminis are good signs, y'all. They're good signs. A curious and energetic Sagittarius is one of the biggest travelers among all the zodiac signs. I would have to say that is very true. I love to travel. Their open mind and philosophical view. Why do I keep saying view? It's view. Motivates them to wander around the world in search of the meaning of life. I don't know if I'm really looking for the meaning of life, but like I definitely love to travel. Sagittarius is an extrovert. No shit. Optimistic and enthusiastic, likes change. I'm pretty good with change, actually. Like, there are some people who can't stand change, and me, I'm like, cool, I'm ready for this. Sagittarius are born able to transform their thoughts into concrete actions, and they will do anything to achieve their goal. I have to say that's 100% true. I'm not even, like, gassing myself up there with that kind of theory, because, like, even with, like, I like to tell people there's really no excuse when you try to achieve your goal or go for your goal, to be completely honest, because like when I didn't have lighting and I first started out in this beauty community, I would wake up at 5:30 in the morning, get that perfect daylight, get my makeup done by like 7. It would hit in my living room just perfect. So I would get the lighting, and like, you know, when I first moved out to LA and I didn't have my lighting, I would sit and wake up at the ass crack of dawn to do it. So, I mean, that is so beyond true. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And some people may think I'm crazy and think I'm just gassing myself up. I'm really not, because every single goal I've had in life, I've been determined to achieve, and I've achieved almost all of them so far, and I'm very, knock on wood, blessed and lucky and grateful beyond 1,000 times. But I would definitely say that's true. Like the other fire sign, Sagittarius needs to be constantly in touch with the world to experience as much as possible. The ruling planet of Sagittarius is Jupiter, the largest planet of the zodiac. Their enthusiasm has no bounds, and therefore people born under the Sagittarius sun possess a great sense of humor and intense curiosity. That is very true. I'm just gonna go and follow this same like mauve look, because I feel like if I add teal, I'm gonna be pissed off, and I don't want to do that to myself. So I'm just gonna go in with the shade, or this one right here, and I'm going to buff out my lower lash with it. I'm not gonna do a very intense lower lash. I kind of just want it to be like simple and smoked out like that. Oh God, I'm so happy that these are the colors that were on my color palette. Some of the colors were like vomit green, and I was like, whoa, what the hell would you do with that? Oh, I gotta add mascara. I'm gonna use the Kush mascara from Milk Makeup for my lower lash line. This is a great mascara if you are looking for a mascara on the market. I totally recommend this one. This one was definitely my fave of 2018. And then I want to get a nice mauve lip. So this lip, I feel like would be really cute with this. This is from Lilly Cosmetics, and it's called Tipsy. It's a matte shade. Oh yeah, this is cute. And then I'm going to add a little bit of a nude to the center to kind of make it pop a little bit. Okay, you guys, and I'm going to finish this look off with a little bit of the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. And this is the finished look. Oh my God, I had so much fun doing this, so much fun talking about horoscopes with y'all. Again, leave me a comment down below what horoscope you guys are. I'm very interested to see. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.